Just because you have a set of matching beads and even a pendant component doesn't mean there isn't any designing and planning to be done for a piece of jewelry. Today I'll show you how I took a set of beads by a ceramic bead artist and turned them into a really lovely necklace. Hi there, Sandy here. Welcome to another jewelry making video at keepsakecrafts.net. So if you've been following me for a few months, you may remember that last October I went to a bead show and I bought these ceramic beads from the Splendid Loon Studio. They're really beautiful. They've got this gorgeous pearlescent shine. And I bought kind of just a random assortment. They had all the colors. And I bought just kind of all down one row, all the different shades of pink and purple, and the heart pendant. And I decided it was time to put them together into a project. This is their website if you want to check them out, by the way. So generally when I look at something like this, the first thing I decide is what am I going to put with it. Often I decide what color metals, if any, and this one I'm going to go with silver. I really love silver and purple together, but you could just as easily have copper or gold, whatever suits you. So for components for these, I decided on some of these little rhinestone rounds spaced in between some of the beads, and then these are kind of interesting because there's so much round going on. I like to have a contrast, so I thought these little square spacers with the beaded edges would be an interesting contrast. And I pulled out a bail for the heart, and at its very simplest you could simply put your heart on a head pin or an eye pin. Uh-oh, these are hollow in the middle, so it might be tricky. Maybe that way. There we go. Put it on an eye pin. I could dangle something from the bottom and then dangle it from a really pretty bail, and that's really nice. But I decided that I wanted a tassel hanging below the heart. Just thought that would look really cool, and I found this. You may remember that I planned to use this in another project and ended up not using it. So what I'm going to do is actually separate the tassel from the bail and put the heart right in between. Okay, my camera cut out on me, but let me just show you what I did here with the heart. All I did was insert an eye pin and then made a loop at the bottom of the heart. So I have a loop at the top and the bottom. It's a great way to use findings that you may have purchased and combine them together in different ways. Make sure that's secure so we don't lose anything. And there is the pendant. That is really pretty. I like it even better. I like the tassel better. I like the heart better with the tassel. That's great. So let's set that aside for a moment. The next thing I'm going to do is set aside a couple beads for earrings. I have these cute little, let's see, were they Hill Tribe silver pendants or charms. And I thought they would be really cute just dangling at the bottom of a couple of these beads. So I'm going to set these aside to make the earrings in a few minutes. And I'm just going to go ahead and start spacing these out, kind of laying these out. I may do it somewhat symmetrically, I think. Let's see. I think it might be kind of pretty to, I don't know, maybe I'll do it. I don't know if I got all the, there we go. Sort of symmetrical. So I'll have those two, the sparkle, and maybe these little bitty ones. Those are kind of cute. Maybe I'll save those for around back. Oh, there we go. So those are all separated by one of the sparkly ones. I may stack a few of these in there. What else have I got? This is what makes these bead design boards just so valuable. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. put that there, that there. So you can see it's sort of symmetrical. And I think I am going to try to use all of these. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, yeah, I have 8 beads on each side, and they're roughly an even division of sizes. And I think that will be pretty. And for around the back, I just have some chain. I love that trick. It saves you from having to get beads all the way around the back of the necklace, because unless you have something you're planning on wearing with like a sleeveless dress with your hair up, in that case you might want to have beads going all the way around the back, have the decoration going all the way around. I'm going to be using these. I showed these in a recent Friday Findings. These are crimp ends, and they're just a really quick and easy way of attaching your bead stringing wire. And one thing you can do is just leave your bead stringing wire right on the spool while you're designing and planning your design, and that way you don't waste it, you don't end up coming up short. I think just a simple pattern, because these beads have so much beautiful sparkle. I'm just going to do an alternating pattern of the beads with these spacers. And we get down closer to the center of the necklace, we'll be alternating with the rhinestone spacers. One thing about these ceramic beads is they do have nice big holes. So you could do cording with them. Just keep in mind ceramic is sharp. These are good quality artisan-made beads, so the holes have been finished nicely, but still ceramic is hard. It's a very hard substance. Now, doesn't that look nice? Just having those spacers gives you a really nice profile. So I'm going to go ahead and continue stringing. So here's all the stringing done. One thing I love to do with these spacers, round ones, square ones, or whatever shape, the ones that have these beaded edges, I love stacking them up, and then you get a whole different effect. You stack up a whole bunch, you can make like a big spacer. So I did that here on either side of the pendant and also at the ends, and I have a couple more to add to the other end once I get to it. So now it's time to add your crimp end. If you want to know more about these, I've done a whole Friday Findings on them. They're super easy to use. The important thing is that you match the size of your crimp end to the wire or cording that you're using. Slide your wire in there. And normally if you're using cord, I would say don't have it poking up, but I want to make sure that it doesn't slide down on me. So I'm going to have it poke up, and I'll just trim it off. And you grab that space in between the two rings on the outer edge and squeeze or crimp it. Rotate it 180 degrees and make sure you're crimping so that you're looking through the hole of your connector. And crimp. Give it a tug. That's nice and secure. And yeah, generally I'd recommend you trim it first, or you slide that wire down. But these are so small, I was afraid that I wouldn't catch it. And these are kind of, you get one chance to get these crimped right, and if you don't, then it comes apart, and you can't really reuse it. So that's why I did that. And that's such a small end of wire, it'll be fine. So then I'll slide my necklace down. And I'm going to give myself just an inch or so of wire to hold on to. I really like this, just this little spacer. Kind of makes it look like an interesting bead on the other end. So I'll slide these on this end. So many of you have told me that you have been inspired by my videos, and that just thrills my heart, because that's really what I set out to do. If you would like to see even more video tutorials every month, you might consider becoming a patron, because my patrons get up to 2 bonus video tutorials plus other bonuses every month. You can check that out at patreon.com/SandySewen, and your financial support helps keep these videos coming for everybody. Now notice I made sure this was curved before I squeezed, so that, because it takes up more room when it's curved, and backed off just the tiniest bit, just to leave a little slack in the wire so that my necklace will hang gracefully. Squeeze, turn it 180 degrees, and squeeze again. And like I said, the only reason I'm leaving this sticking out, normally I wouldn't do that. If I had a bigger cord end, and if you watch that video, you'll see what I mean, I would poke it out the hole till I saw it and then back it down. But there's such a tiny margin here that I really wanted to be sure I had it right where I needed it to have it. So there we go. And now you can use some jump rings. I've got this silver-plated toggle that I thought was perfect for this project. This is a 15 millimeter toggle that I got in a dollar bead box. Use some jump rings to attach your chain, add your toggle, and your necklace is done. I promised you I'd show you the earrings. It's super simple. I'm just going to slide a couple of beads on. And I'm going to take a look at these charms. All right, no, I think they're not too big. I was concerned if the loops were big, I might, well, yeah, they're kind of thick. So I think instead of using the 1.5 millimeter looper, I'm going to use my bigger looper. Actually, this would be a good spot for the 2.5 millimeter looper, but I don't own it. So I think the 3 millimeter loop will be good here, so that the loop can go through this kind of thick loop and still allow it to move freely. Now, decisions. So should the big one be on top or the little? I think the little one should be on top. So this is the bottom. And this works just the same way as the other looper, except it makes a bigger loop. If you want to learn more about this looper tool, which I absolutely love, it just makes it so much easier. Oh, you definitely needed a bigger loop there. I've done a whole video on the one-step looper. And whether it's the smaller one or the larger one, it works the same. It really looks just the same, except this little post is a different size. That's all. Otherwise it works the same. Where was I? Oh, earrings. So then I'll attach this and make sure to twist these loops so that my little charm faces forward. And that's all there is to it. So once again, if you're interested in the supplies, click on the little eye in the upper right of the video. There's also a link at the bottom left at the end of the video or in the description box to go to my blog posts, where I always have a complete supply list, product links, more information that I thought of after making the video, all kinds of good stuff. So thanks so much for watching. Happy creating. Bye-bye.